appreciate you guys coming and being a part of VCW. Of course, you know today is the Victory Rumble. That means you will see 30 men enter this ring. It'll be a Royal Rumble style match. Every 90 seconds, somebody in, somebody out. That's your main event. As we feel a little bit ready to bring some energy, but as always, Victory Championship Wrestling gives you more for your money. We have featured show matches for you starting now. So let's make some noise, guys. Your opening match in the singles contest scheduled for one fall.
A historic afternoon.
Eamon, you've booked an incredible Rumble. What do you have to say about the VCW Rumble coming up?
It's going to be really exciting. I've got a lot, under my sleeve planned for this Rumble. New job as, acting commissioner. I'm still kind of feeling I get my sea legs a little bit. But I'm excited for what VCW always brings. It's a beautiful November afternoon, and Victory Championship Ready is ready to bring the pro wrestling action.
Very excited about this debut of the handyman, Sam Handeman. He's qualified.
I will say, maybe, the VCW pre-show has been a great opportunity for young talents to get their eyes on the backstage area and get their eyes to possibly get onto our main show. But, I mean, with Sam here, I can maybe just have him help out with the ring at the end of the day if he's good enough.
I was about to say, Jim, the best thing about hiring Sam Handeman is you do not just get a wrestler. You get the ring crew, you get a plumber, you get an electrician. We were having some HVAC problems. Sam was the man.
Bob Vila would be very proud of the handyman. And I'm going to tell you what, as we've said, these pre-show matches are not cannon fodder. This is all opportunity. One of these athletes is going to make an impression to open a door here in Victory Championship Wrestling.
This is one of two pre-show matches. The VCW Victory Rumble is coming up shortly on IndyWrestling.us. Please use the hashtag VCW Rumble to join the conversation on what I refuse to call anything other than Twitter.
I don't think we're under any legal obligation to change it, so that's fine. But starting off here with Nix Wilde and handyman Sam Handeman, but not just the Victory Rumble on our main show tonight. Also keep in mind the first title defense of the Beastman, the new VCW heavyweight champion. He will be defending against Gianni Michael Enrico.
And after that emotional win last month, you have to wonder how much will Beastman be able to recharge the batteries and put the championship on the line.
Nix Wilde, taking control of the handyman, asked the NB Riot what they had in store today, and they said they were going to get nice and moist and go for some tummy-to-tummy action, and I felt very, very uncomfortable.
What does any of that mean?
They're finish the match with the tummy-to-tummy slam, and apparently they like to get nice and moist in preparation for the action.
Tremendous.
I'm not the biggest expert. I mean, I'm barely learning as commissioner, let alone, what a professional wrestler needs. But moistness is not what would immediately come to mind. But
Bret Hart would disagree. Look at his hair.
Well,
and he won a lot of matches.
Wilde, they have made an impression in New Kensington, Pennsylvania with 880 Wrestling. Great to see that they branch out here to VCW. And big mid-ring collision. They lowered the boom on that one.
Of course, with Sam Handeman in the ring, we know that everything is certified, everything is up to code, including that leapfrog.
Nice arm drag takedown there. Follows it up with another.
My apologies, David. Great fundamentals here, and that's what you'll love to see from these young guns, these young athletes that really bring the fight. The enthusiasm is infectious.
We've seen in the past wrestlers like Colton Quinn move on from these pre-show matches to become members of the roster. In fact, tonight we're going to see a Rumble full of men and women and non-binary competitors who are all coming in to try and establish themselves on the roster. Could we potentially see Nix Wilde or the Handyman in that Rumble? We don't know.
I mean, I'm looking at this match very closely, I got to say. You know, Commissioner Nicholas West has always prided himself in seeing the young and up-and-coming talents in the area and giving them a shot, so.
Sends the Handyman through. Stiff kick to the spine.
Nix Wilde says they come from the intersection of fun and violence. Oh, and a cover for one only. Certainly seems like their fun is the violence inflicted on others.
And now wearing Sam down here with this headlock.
When you can keep an opponent on the canvas, that's where you win the matchup.
One would assume if you wanted to take down Sam the Handyman, you should focus on his hands.
I mean, the prized possessions of any handyman, you would think, but big clothesline there. And now going to follow it up, staying right on top of Sam.
More than others.
Got to worry about that skull. My apologies, Jason.
No, I was going to say more than others. The Handyman may be giving up. But there it is! Tummy to tummy!
That's what the tummy to tummy.
That's a tummy to tummy, baby.
I know it normally is a belly to belly, but that could be it. Oh, only two.
Apparently, tummy to tummy was not moist enough to get the 3 count.
I'm just going to let that lie.
I'm not saying anything.
Nix Wilde.
This came directly from the NB Riot.
You're always on top of things, Jason, I got to say. But now just choking Sam now.
Right now, Nix Wilde on top of Sam the Handyman.
Wilde may be getting a little desperate here. Hit that trademark maneuver, and they may be questioning themselves, what is the answer to put away the Handyman?
And we know those ropes are tight because it was Sam that was working on them. So in a lot of ways, maybe Sam being the architect of his own destruction.
Now going to bring Sam back up to his feet. Very on top of things, I will say, is Nick. Ooh, and now with that big snap suplex, now right into the cover, lateral press.
Wilde once again getting 2, and I don't believe at this point Sam Handeman has even had a pinning attempt yet in this match.
It's a nice series of maneuvers, but not enough body-on-body contact while the Handyman to get his shoulder up. And now Wilde will have to figure out their next step. There's the Handyman trying to rally here.
Wild swing by Nix Wilde.
Nice flying forearm shot.
We're in a virtual stalemate here.
Sam Handeman trying to rally this crowd behind him.
And the crowd in McMecken giving Sam the energy he needs. Follows it with a clothesline and then a back elbow.
This has been one of the most impressive pre-show outings we have seen here in VCW. This is just a taste of things to come as the Victory Rumble gets started at the top of the hour, 3 o'clock, IndyWrestling.us. Do not miss it.
And now, precarious position now on that top turnbuckle. Big double axe handle. That's those hands coming into play. Cover!
That is the Polish Handemer, and Sam Handeman came so close.
And now, looking to pull something out of his toolbox.
Who kicks out of a Polish Handemer?
I've never seen it.
Well, Nix Wilde, they kicked out right there.
Now
we're seeing the best maneuvers of each of these competitors get countered.
Big power bomb there into a cover. Just able to get the shoulder up there.
A lot of grit, a lot of tenacity on display here early on, and it's only going to build and build till we get to that Rumble.
Oh, wait. Handsman catches him. Big blue thunder bomb.
Could be all.
And it is.
Hey, man, I'm going to add. I'm going to ask you, in your role as acting commissioner, what do you think of the Handyman? Back here at VCW.
I got to say, very impressed. I think not just in terms of work ethic, not just in terms of getting that victory that was, really was able to pull it out in the ring, but very versatile competitor, to say the least.
Sure. Not only does Sam Handeman get a victory, but also later he's going to get a little bit of an extra payoff for helping to tear down the ring.
I guess that is my job now.
A multi-versatile athlete is the Handyman, and he is victorious here on this afternoon in McMecken.
We've got another pre-show match to come before the main event. The main event, which includes the VCW Rumble.
Pre-show match for you, and then moving on to our main show. When the main show starts, we want you guys to be loud, so stand up, praise hell, make noise. Just because it's Sunday doesn't mean be quiet. Victory Rumbles today, so we'll hear all you guys when we get to the main show. Before that, one more pre-show match, a singles match scheduled for one fall.
And be sure to check out the main card for the VCW Victory Rumble over on IndyWrestling.network. Not only do you get tonight's event, but you also get the entire catalog of Victory Championship Wrestling events from the very beginning.
So many matches featuring the Beast Man, former champion Remy LeVay. Last month's match between Facade and Ricardo Rodriguez.
That was a classic.
Well, we are in for a unique competitor, to say the least, a clash of styles in this next pre-show match. Making his debut here in VCW, it's Terry the White Trash Luchador, and I think that's pretty self-descriptive.
I mean, when I heard about Terry the White Trash Luchador, I mean, I try to bring as much uniqueness and as much unique competitors as I could find for tonight's event, and I don't know how you can get more unique than that.
I mean, in this case, it pretty much looks like you found a man outside of the building and said, hey, do you want to wrestle?
Well, not too far off.
A Jerry Springer guest if I've ever seen one.
I knew he looked familiar.
Stiff competition for Terry the White Trash Luchador, as will be evident in a moment, given the strength of his opponent, literal and metaphorical.
Don't you cry no more. What really just was it done? Right to us, 15 pounds. One half of our wayward sons, Garrett Lee.
This is Garrett Lee, one half of the Wayward Sons. We saw them last month unsuccessful in attempting to win the tag team titles from the Origin. Now Garrett Lee in singles competition. What does this mean about the potential future of the Wayward Sons together?
One way to avoid a skid is to be victorious here. Garrett Lee certainly needs to have his mind focused, because the White Trash Luchador is looking to use Garrett Lee's reputation as a stepping stone.
Eamon, Garrett Lee said that while he's beginning maybe a run as a singles competitor now, while they sort of decide what the future of the Wayward Sons is, he was going to start at the bottom by request. That's why we see him on the pre-show. What made you decide to match up Garrett Lee with Terry the White Trash Luchador?
Well, Terry is a bit of an oddball, to say the least. You know, I didn't know the perfect opponent to put him against, because, you know, who do you... What's the dream matchup in that regard? But I will say about Garrett Lee, you know, I was very disappointed that, you know, for him and Gavin Jacobs of the Wayward Sons, that they weren't able to pull out that victory against the Origin. If it wasn't, you know, for the chicanery of Malachi Gage and Christian Noir, you know, I think they've worked very hard. They deserve that opportunity at those tag titles. But
that was a surprising balance, and unfortunately a rake to the eye.
Look out.
And a clothesline taking Garrett Lee out onto the floor.
Who would expect a man named White Trash to do something so brash?
You're breaking new ground, Jason.
Jim, Garrett Lee has been a tag team competitor for such a long time. What is it like to transition from tag team to once again being a singles competitor?
Over my time calling matches for the past 15 years, I'm going to tell you that it's really feast or famine in many regards. You see competitors that have success in a singles run, or they completely swing and a miss, and that's why this matchup is so pivotal for Garrett Lee. What direction will his career take? We're going to find out this afternoon.
I think you also have to remember as well that Garrett's start in professional wrestling was training under Gavin Jacobs. Their original path, you know, in their mind when they started in professional wrestling, wasn't necessarily in a tag team like some others who are naturally coming into that field, knowing what they want, knowing they want to be, you know, tag team competitors. So I think Garrett's always had that potential in him at the end of the day.
Garrett Lee bringing the experience advantage, but there is no tape whatsoever on Terry White Trash Luchador.
Cover here, hooks that leg, back press. And one thing you have to give the white trash luchador, and yes, that's the first time I've ever said that in my career, you have to give him credit because he kicked out right there. You could fold like a cheap suit.
I'm glad I could be your first, Jim.
Terry the White Trash Luchador cannot afford a suit, cheap or otherwise.
Ooh.
That's a very good point, Jason.
Unless Terry does win this match, and perhaps the winnings, he will make his way to a TJ Maxx or a Marshall's, buy himself a fancy sports coat. Unlikely.
Right now, he's going to have to buy himself a neck brace because he's hung upside down, and it doesn't bode well.
Garrett now. Look at the strength here of Garrett Lee.
Very precarious position. Powers it down.
In the cover, but only 2. Terry just able to get that shoulder up.
Look at disappointment on the face of Garrett Lee, who certainly thought he had enough in that power slam to take down Terry.
And now coming off the ropes, big leg drop.
You saw the contact.
And I got to mention as well, we mentioned the Origin successfully defending against the Wayward Sons. They will have another defense tonight on the main show for Victory Rumble when they take on Bearcat Keith Hott and the King of Pittsburgh, MV Young, and that is sure to be an exciting contest.
This match is definitely an example of be careful what you wish for. When Garrett Lee said he wanted to start his singles career at the bottom and build his way up, maybe you took him a little too literally.
And now powering Terry the White Trash Luchador up.
Looks like 6 o'clock, gentlemen.
Garrett Lee so, powerful in that ring. Typically, Garrett would be the smaller competitor in a contest, so it's very impressive to see him show off this extra side to him.
Definitely very versatile.
Very resilient is Terry the White Trash Luchador, who may have literally never been taught the meaning of the word quit. And I don't mean that theoretically. I mean literally. I'm not sure what kind of education this man has.
From what I know, it's not great. Garrett Lee now up onto the shoulders, giving Terry a bit of a ride here.
Losing whatever brain cells the White Trash Luchador had left.
Oh, big Northern Lights.
Nice bridge.
And again, Terry able to get his shoulder up.
And the story of this match has been no matter what Garrett Lee has thrown at Terry, Terry has found a way to get that shoulder up. And now Garrett literally kicking Terry in that shoulder, getting so annoyed that it keeps evading his grasp.
But able to get
overzealous. Excuse me, Eamon, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say able to get the boot up. Terry catching Garrett Lee. Nice Hurricane Rana.
Things are turning around for the White Trash Luchador.
Question is, can Terry capitalize?
He may have racked his head off the canvas there. He looks a little dazed.
Trying to get himself
situated, trying to find an opening for the attack.
And now eyeing up Garrett Lee. What could he have in mind? Springboard up onto the second. Oh, but caught now by Garrett Lee.
Too much time. Rookie mistake. He paid for it.
Turning Terry inside out.
Garrett Lee is done with these shenanigans for sure. And
our referee checking on Terry. Like you mentioned, Jim, maybe a little worse for wear here. I'm striking. Oh, running knee strike.
Just ran Terry over.
And that'll seal the deal for Garrett Lee.
When Terry wakes up in a few days, someone can tell him the result of this matchup.
As the song says, started from the bottom. Now we're here. Garrett Lee beginning his climb, whether it's in singles or tag team action. Garrett Lee wants to be a champion in VCW before all is said and done. We have two big championship matches tonight, this afternoon, 3 p.m. on IndyWrestling.network. The VCW Rumble is coming. Gentlemen, what are the matches you are both looking forward to most?
I mean, besides that Victory Rumble, which, I like I said, I have a lot in store, so be prepared because this has become my little pet project putting this together. This is my proudest moment as a short run as VCW commissioner so far. But I gotta also say, Beastman, Gianni Michael Enrico, you are not going to want to miss that. High stakes with the VCW Heavyweight Championship on the line. David Lawless, unfortunately, weaseling his way into guest referee in that matchup. But I think is going to be a phenomenal contest, that aside.
Jim, what about you? What match are you most looking forward to come on the Victory Rumble?
I think that we have to really highlight the fact that Jason Kincaid is in the building, and he is a human highlight machine. The last time we saw him here in VCW, he and Zeke Mercer put on an absolute classic and it's something that I'm looking forward to get a chance to call that unique and dynamic athlete in Jason Kincaid.
It's not just Jason Kincaid making his debut. It is the Infinite Man, T.I.M. Tim is coming in after reshaping himself as a singles competitor in the South in the last 3 years. These are two of wrestling's most unique spirits, and this is deepest thinkers. I think this is going to be a very unique matchup between Jason Kincaid and T.I.M.
Also, I would love to also point out the matchup between Zeke Mercer, No Mercy Zeke Mercer, taking on No Good Nathan Allridge. That is sure to be a very intense encounter. We know what Zeke brings every time they step into the ring, but also the way that Nathan Allridge has been operating, in the last few months here in VCW, the torment that he's been causing people. Nathan Allridge has a big chip on his shoulder and is looking to just inflict punishment all across Victory Championship Wrestling.
Tag titles are going to be on the line. The Origin making their second attempted defense of the tag team titles against the duo of Keith Ott and MV Young, who have been on a roll together. What maybe started as a makeshift team, well, we're going to get started in just a few moments. VCW Victory Rumble. Make sure to watch on IndyWrestling.network.